Yo, what up? It's Allie, and boy, did I do them boys dirty. I had to put that at the front, but that's not why you're here. Why you're here is the good and the bad that I personally noticed from playing through the beta for Cold War. So there's a few points on each, even though it may seem like I'm reaching a tad for the positives, but I still have them listed as positives nonetheless. So without further ado, this is the good and the bad from the Cold War beta. So starting off with the good, that would be the number one thing, taking a look at my notes, is that Call of Duty's Call of Duty. So if you like Call of Duty, then you're probably going to like Cold War. Much is the same as with every year of Call of Duty. You run around and shoot folks, and that's about it. So at least one positive that you can take if you like nothing else, but the fact that it's Call of Duty, at least you got that. I did warn you up front that, seems a little reachy at points. But number two, what I have listed here is innovation. And innovation meaning, they did add 2 new game modes for everyone to play, being VIP and the Fire Team Dirty Bomb that we got to play, although I do think that the Fire Team was hot garbage. I have a video coming out soon about that, but the VIP I did enjoy a lot. It's in fact probably my favorite new game mode to come to Call of Duty in quite a minute. So they're at least trying new things, trying to keep the game fresh. So I do appreciate that. At number 3, we have something that I'm sure a lot of people will enjoy, and that's the arcade style that comes with a Treyarch year of Call of Duty. Treyarch typically, has a certain style of gameplay that's a little more arcadey, a little more fun to play than the realistic type of realm that Infinity Ward typically likes to go with. So for fans of Treyarch and fans of those years, you'll still enjoy the same arcadey style of gameplay that Treyarch always brings. So I would consider that a positive. Number 4 is the biggest reach of them all, and that is reputation. So what I mean by reputation is that Treyarch has kind of been Big Daddy on the block for a little while now. So even if the release isn't up to what community standards are for a Call of Duty in general, but particularly one of their releases, I doubt they'll let it stay that way for long, because I'm sure they want to retain that Big Daddy status that they've got. So even if it is slightly disappointing in any way, shape, or form, I'm sure they'll be quick to remedy that, being that they are the big dogs on the force, and they're not going to want Infinity Ward to slide in there with just releasing Warzone and that being good enough to take them off the pedestal. So that is something that I would carry with you. Should you not be too overwhelmed with the release, I would keep that in mind. And although that was quite a short pro list, that's really the main points of what I've got and the pros that I took from the situation. Now, like I said, So, some of that might be a little reachy. Call me an optimist. But you know, I really do. I have to have faith in Treyarch. Basically, Treyarch is my favorite Call of Duty developer. Has been since Black Ops 1, which is still my favorite Call of Duty to ever be released. So I put all my faith in Treyarch to, you know, even if the release isn't very pretty, which I'm not expecting, by the way, since this game, you know, isn't really supposed to come out until next year. But Sledgehammer dropping the ball made them push their game up a year. So what can you really expect from any development team when you lose a year of your development cycle? I have faith that, you know, over the course of the year, they'll be able to make anything right that is wrong upon release. So, fully moving on to the bad, at number 1, we have the target tracking. Now, as you can see in this gameplay and most gameplays that you'll see from me, I'm going to be using a sniper. Now, that's not really because of the target tracking, because I typically snipe most of the time. But, you know, every now and again, I like to pick up an AR, submachine gun, and do what it do with those. But for whatever reason, it is extremely difficult to track your target in a gunfight in this game, more so than I think I've ever experienced in a Call of Duty before. It is hard, and not necessarily, it's not overly difficult. Obviously you can do it, or nobody would have played a single second of the beta, but it's more difficult than it should be. I feel like I'm always losing track of the people that I'm shooting at, which is obviously not an enjoyable experience. So I'm hoping that that gets remedied upon full release, and that's something that some other people have noticed. I know I have seen a few content creators that I watch complain about this as well, most notably the Doctor Disrespect himself, as well as Courage. I believe those two noticed it as well when they were playing, and I'm sure you noticed it if you played, at least on PC. Everything that I'm saying has to do with PC. I didn't play any other version of the game, so keep that in mind as well. But that's number 1 on the list. Trucking along to number 2 on the list, and that would be the optimization. Once again, this is on the PC side of things. The game at times felt like it ran really well. At times it was very choppy, frames going all over the place. Once again, this is probably going to be a PC only type issue, and furthermore, I would imagine something that's solved upon full release. You know, it is a beta after all, so who knows. But I've felt it would be unfair not to mention that was an issue that I was having in this video. So at number 3, unique guns. You know, like I said earlier in the video, I mainly run around with snipers anyways, but I did, you know, try all the different weapons, at least for a little bit, and they seem like the same. Like, hardly any real uniqueness to any of the weapons. It really felt like I could pick up any weapon in the game and it would feel exactly the same. So I don't really know what that's all about. You know, and of course there's going to be different balance changes and things like that when the game gets, you know, comes out. More people are going to play it. There's going to be more input. So once again, I'm confident that this is something that's also going to change, but it is something that I noticed through playing through. Number 4 is the most disappointing to me 100%, and that is the maps. these maps are, they're okay. They're cool, I suppose. But I don't know why Call of Duty in recent years has decided that they want to like be Battlefield, but that's what it feels like. I don't understand it at all. You know, if I'm playing Call of Duty, I want to play Call of Duty. I want 3-lane maps. I want to have at least some sort of idea, you know, at least some sort of guess as to where people can be, you know, spawning at, where the spawn points are. I want to be able to use some sort of game sense and, you know, play the game in that way. Because, I mean, that comes into a big factor of how good you are, or at least it used to. You know, it used to be a big part of how good you were at Call of Duty games was a certain amount of game sense and being able to, at least most of the time, predict where the other team was going to spawn, you know, where you and your team were going to go, or at least you, if you're just solo, you know, pub stomping. I mean, you can't get that in these games that are made this way, in these maps that are made this way, where everything is so open, and I'm basically playing Battlefield through a Call of Duty lens, which is okay sometimes, but at the end of the day, you know, maps like this, I like to see them in COD whenever there's a few. But if every single map on full release matches the maps that were available in the beta, and I don't get any 3-lane maps, I'm gonna be highly upset, highly disappointed. You know, at that point, don't even make any more new maps. Literally just remaster all of your other Black Ops, you know, remaster Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 maps and call it a day. Just give me that. I'll play that. Don't even try anything new. I'd rather play those than just this over and over and over. And like I said, these are cool, but they're cool when they're few and far between. I would like the option to play on something like this, you know, all these different ships, and we're going in between ships and capping objectives and doing all this. That's dope for a refreshment in every so often, but this is not something that I want to do every single game. I don't want this type of gameplay every single game from a Call of Duty game. If I want this, I'll play Battlefield. When I want to play Call of Duty, I'll play Call of Duty. And that directly leads me into number 5, which I kind of touched on number 4, being the spawns. The spawns are atrocious in this game. Call of Duty has, you know, historically had a tough enough time with the spawn points whenever they were making 3-lane maps. So I don't know what gave them the confidence to start making these maps as if they could handle these spawn points, but they can't. They're bad. They're atrocious. I couldn't even tell you how many times I literally spawned next to an enemy that just spawned. Like, we spawned next to each other, like 5 feet apart. Makes no sense. But the spawns are always going to be hella random whenever you've got Call of Duty style gameplay on a Battlefield map. There's no getting around it. Call of Duty is traditionally fast-paced, but you got these big spread out maps where everybody's kind of spread out all over the place. The spawns are going to be random as shit, and they are. And it does not feel good. I hope to God that, you know, what I touched on in you know, bad number 4 being the maps, I hope that they put some 3-lane maps in there, give me some sort of traditional Call of Duty that I can play, because if it's nothing but this, I'm gonna be one hell of a zombies player, if you catch my drift. Because I ain't gonna want to be playing this. I'll play this every so often. It'll be something I pick up for a week, put it back down for a month or two. Other than that, I mean, you can catch me on zombies, catch me in the war zone, That's about it. Because I'll have no motivation to play this over and over and over. No thank you. And with that, that is everything that I have as far as my initial good versus bad in the Cold War beta. I appreciate everybody that watched the video, liked it, commented, subscribed. I appreciate all that good stuff. Let me know what you think about the things that I found. If you found anything else, anything good or bad, let me know. I'd be very interested to hear about it. But yeah, other than that, I'll just let the rest of this gameplay pan out. Peace.